Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope you like this video. I hope you enjoy my face and this channel. I am having too much fun making these recommendations videos. And in today's video, I'm going to be recommending you some of my favorite thrillers. I am a thriller junkie. I eat thrillers up like it's nobody's business. Without any further ado, let's get this started. So I've pulled out a couple of thrillers from my shelf and I'm going to be taking you through these thrillers, giving you a little summary about these, give you my ratings and tell you whether you should read these books or maybe skip on them. Let's go. How can we talk about thrillers and not talk about Freida McFadden? I have read about 6 books by her. I think there are about 15. As much as I love her, she's one of my favorite thriller authors. I think she writes beautifully. I have to admit that her newer books have not been getting as great reviews. So I'm a little contemplated whether I want to read those or not. Yeah, let's review the ones that I've already read. Of course, the first one is the Housemaid series. This is her most popular body of work. There are about 3 books so far in the series. The first one is The Housemaid, the second one is The Housemaid's Secret, and the third one is The Housemaid is Watching. I am not sure if there are more that are going to be coming out in the series. My favorite is going to be the first book. This was so good. This was so addictive. The story was great. The characters were amazing. I just read this in a single sitting and I wanted to know what happens in the end. The ending was bomb. I love this book. The following books though, these two. I'm not gonna lie, they are bingeable. Like if you're in a slump and you're not able to pick up a book, you can definitely pick any of these and just get out of your slump. They are great for that. I feel like the story lacked character and character development. It felt like this was done to be done. So basically in this series we have a housemaid named Millie and she helps out these rich, wealthy families who are apparently perfect looking from the outside, but most of the time something or the other is going on in their homes. And yeah, she helps them out by cooking, cleaning, uh, taking care of the babies, stuff like that. And in the first book, Millie moves in with this wealthy family and she starts living in their attic, and yeah, things take a very strange turn. I would say this was so good. Your brain's gonna be fried by the end of it. These two, like I said, I'm not sure, these are continuation of Millie's story and what goes on after this. So yeah, definitely read this. Can skip on it, can read, it's on you. Moving on, we have The Inmate. I read this book this year in April or Feb, I believe. Again, this was a 3-star read for me. It became too predictable. I predicted the culprit way early in the book, so I wasn't a fan of it. Again, bingeable, addictive, will keep you on the edge of your seat kind of book, but in hindsight, there are better thrillers out there. So we have our main character Brooke, who is working as a supervisor in this prison, and there are some really deadly criminals that are kept in these prisons, and one of the criminals is her ex-boyfriend. And what nobody knows is that the criminal and this our main character are related or were related in the past, and it was because of Brooke that this criminal Shane was put in jail. So yeah, in my opinion, you can totally skip this. There are better options out there. My next pick is What the. This book I loved. I loved to bits. The story was so. This is one of her older releases. The story was so good. The characters were great. The premise, the setting. This was so atmospheric. I read this book I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, and wow. So we have our main character Amy. I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names. So Amy is a medical student and she gets her duty assigned in this medical ward in this mental asylum where some of the most dangerous patients are kept, and that ward is to be kept logged at all times. So Amy, along with a few other doctors, goes in to her assigned duty, and as soon as she enters, she knows that something is wrong here. There's this very eerie feeling about the whole premise. There's a pair of eyes that is watching Amy as soon as she enters the ward, and as the night passes, patients as well as doctors start disappearing, start getting murdered, and nobody knows who's killing them. So, like, characters were amazing in this book. The ending, again, will shock you to your core. Definitely recommend this one. The next book by Freida McFadden is Never Lie. Again, I love this book. I read this last year. I really enjoyed the story. This has quite a few contradicting opinions on the internet, but again, don't they all? In this book, our main characters are Tricia and Ethan, and they are newlyweds and they are looking for their perfect home to live in. And they find this beautiful, huge manor sort of a place which previously belonged to Dr. Adrian Hale, and they think that it's perfect for them. And Dr. Hale was a renowned psychiatrist back in the day who few years back disappeared without a trace. And one day they just go on to see this apartment and they get stuck there because of this crazy storm that is coming, and things start getting weird. While they are stuck, Tricia discovers this audio transcripts. There are a bunch of cassettes which are Dr. Hale's patients' recordings while she was seeing them, and each cassette is a puzzle. Tricia is stuck with solving this puzzle, and again, the ending, the last couple of pages, I was like going mad with the story. And yeah, definitely recommend this one as well. Okay, so that was all with Freida McFadden books. And one thing you can trust Freida McFadden to do is to bring you out of your slump. That's just, it always works, for me at least. Moving on, we have another one of my favorite authors, Holly Jackson. Now I'm sure you all must have heard or read or seen The Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. So we are not going to talk about that book. We are going to talk about Reappearance of Rachel Price. I gave this book, I think, a 4.5 stars. This was a bit longer than what I usually like my thrillers to be, but the story is so engaging and the concept was so new. So basically, I have an 18-year-old Belle whose mother had disappeared, I think, when she was 2, and she has lived her whole life in this shadow of her mom's disappearance. Now 16 years have passed, and this company has sort of offered to make a documentary on her mom's disappearance. So this case is brought up again, and it's all the talk in the town. And while the documentary is being filmed, her mom returns. She's back and everybody is shocked. 1, 2, she starts living with Belle and her father in their home, and she is acting like nothing really ever happened. Nobody's asking questions because, well, you returned after 16 years. She was presumed for so many years, and then now she's back living with them, and this just brings up so many questions. How did she disappear? Why did she leave them? And where was she for so many years? Now why she's back? And this puts Belle in a spotlight, and she takes it upon herself to figure this mystery out, and she does, and it's crazy. I felt like about 50% of the book was a little dragged, in my opinion. There's also a lot of emotion in this book, so that aspect made the book a little bit draggy. But the last 100 pages, you guys, I kid you not, I was stuck to my chair reading it, and the ending, loved it. Trust Holly Jackson to write one of the greatest mysteries like it's nothing. Amazing story, definitely recommend. My next recommendation is The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. Again, Riley Sager is another one of really popular thriller authors. I would definitely recommend this book to you guys. I gave this book a solid 4 stars. It's, again, so atmospheric, so eerie. The setting is very creepy and, cold, and the perfect time to read this book is during winters when the fog sets and it's all gloomy. Perfect for that time. So in this book, we have our main character Casey Fletcher, whose husband has recently died. She is an actress, I believe, in Hollywood, and her husband has recently died, and she's escaped off to her family's lakefront house to mourn her dead husband and to take some time off for herself. As she moves into that lakefront house, this glamorous couple in the house across the lake catches her attention and she's mesmerized. She starts watching them through the window. She even gets freaking binoculars to watch them, like it was giving proper stalker vibes. And the couple in the house across the lake is just perfect. They have their perfect life, and just like Cassie and her husband used to be, and that is making her really jealous, envious, whatever you want to call it. And Casey tries to form this friendship with the women from the couple, and she finds out that maybe the couple that seems so perfect is not as perfect after all. I want to read a little something from the back of the book for you. She has a detective sat at her kitchen table. She has a man bound and gagged upstairs. She is about to uncover a dark truth so life changing that nothing will ever be the same again. Guys, please read this. By the end of it, things take a whole another turn only, and from thriller, it becomes this ghost thing. I don't know what was happening. It was so chaotic, but in a good way, all in a good way. The next book I'm going to talk about is Good Bad Girl by Alice Feeney. Before talking about this book, I do also want to recommend you Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. I do not have my physical copy here, it's back home. That book, crazy. I think it tops this one even. I did not know anything about Rock, Paper, Scissors, and I went in blindly and I was so happily shocked, surprised. And I would suggest you do the same. Do not read the blurb of it, just go in blindly and start reading, and you will have the best time of your life with that book. Now, coming back to Good Bad Girl, this was an okayish read. I gave it 3.5 stars. It's not bad at all. It was a little confusing for me, for my tiny brain. This is about 4 women, and they sort of live their lives separately at first, and then we found out that each of their lives is interconnected in sort of a manner. So 20 years ago, a baby was stolen, and 20 years later, a woman is murdered, and the two crimes are interconnected. So this is a generational crime thriller. I'm gonna say I tried so hard to figure out who the killer was, but I could not. I thought I had it, but I didn't. I don't know how to talk about this book without giving any spoilers, because the spoilers start quite early on in the story. So that's all you basically need to know, and just go read this book. You're gonna have a great time. The next book that I want to talk about is Then She Was Gone. I say it like this because this book is definitely a level up than all of the thrillers that I recommended you just now. This is so creepy in an unsettling kind of way. This made my brain foggy for such a long time. I was thinking about it for weeks. I don't know whether to call it good or what, but we have a 15-year-old girl in this book. She's very good at studies. She's very good at everything she does basically. And we have our mom Laurel, who never really gave up on the hope of finding her daughter, but 10 years later she wants to move on in her life, and she finds this charming, charismatic stranger. Things are going good until she meets her 9-year-old daughter that resembles so much like her lost daughter. Bro, I tell you, it was so creepy. So creepy to even think about it and to read about it. The way that Lisa Jewell has written it, described it in the book, it's so creepy. It's next level. Things that happen in this book are so dark. I keep repeating it again and again because I am reminded of all the things that happen in the book, and truly they're just so dark. Definitely read this at your own risk. If you're easily scared, don't read the book. It'll give you nightmares, I'm pretty sure, but I read it, I really enjoyed it. I recommend at your own risk. Why do people always call me when I'm filming? Nobody calls me when I'm free. Anyway, I was on my next pick, which is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. She's also really big in the thriller, psychological thriller thing. Again, this book is a level higher than all of the previous reads. This is also very dark and very culty. I'm so sorry about the light. The sun's gone down and it's getting dark outside. I'll quickly wrap this up. This is my last recommendation. A lot of dark family secrets and a lot of cult-like manipulation going on. So we have our main character Libby, who's 25 years old, sorry. who's 25 years old. She inherits this huge mansion. When she turns 25, she goes on to check out the mansion, and the air is dense. The atmosphere is very creepy. So, this mansion comes with a lot of dark history with itself. 25 years ago, the police found three adults in the house, and they were all wearing black clothes, and the whole situation felt like a suicide pact kind of a thing. On the floor above, in a crib, a baby was found crying, completely healthy, and the baby was Libby. So nobody knows who was feeding the baby, how, what was going on in this house, what happened to the family that lived there. Yeah, and this is just the surface level that I am telling you, that I can tell you without possibly giving any spoilers. But as you read this book, as you go deeper into it, things start to unravel, and it takes a very strange, very creepy turn. Again, not for the faint hearted. Do not read this if you're easily scared. This will give you the chills. If you can deal with all of that, I highly recommend you read this book. You're gonna have such a great time with this. And yeah, with our last book, we have come to the end of this video. I hope you all liked this video. I hope you all liked my recommendations. If there's anything that you guys want me to improve on, please leave the feedback in the comments below. I would love to work upon it. Also, let me know what you guys want to see on this channel. Tell me what you're currently reading as well in the comments, and follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And with this, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.